Hello guys, this is just one guy and I'm back here with my Mistborn project, and I just wanted to give an update on what I was working on this week. It's just going game. Now since I released the playable version, I wanted to make the game look and feel a little bit better, just so people could get a good idea on what it was. So I've been trying to build like one of the forts or castles, but I've been having a lot of trouble with that. One, because I'm not a very good 3D modeler or anything like that. I'm better at programming. Actually, I'm really good at programming. I'm just not that good at 3D modeling. And two, Mistborn castles and not castles, I guess fortresses, because their architecture is kind of weird. They have a mix between a Victorian style and like a traditional medieval style. Like in the books, it says that all the towers are kind of spiky and stuff like that, but they do have castles and walls and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird to nail down their architecture. I would guess like a Victorian architecture from the way the books describe it, but I couldn't really quite find anything that matched it. At last, I didn't really want to, I wanted to go with a low poly style, and the reason for that just because this is kind of a fan made project, so I'm not trying to spend like 1,000 hours modeling like a super detailed architecture. And I can't, this is the stuff came up with. And I kind of like it, but I kind of don't because I feel like it's too spiky and overdone and oversimplistic. But then it's just something I got to work on. So that's mostly what I've been doing this whole week is just trying to make the game look better and just trying to build the castle so that in the playable version you have something to play around with. Also, I thought a cool idea was I was listening to the second book on the audiobooks, and the main character Vin and Zane, they have like this cool midair fight, and I thought it would be kind of cool if you could kind of push and pull off those spikes and emulate the fight, like some of these metal pieces right here. I could take and make the spikes metal, and then you could have a midair fight doing stuff like that. And I thought that would be a pretty cool idea. So that's another reason I've been working on the architecture. The next thing I'm going to do is switch some of these characters out for less detailed, low poly characters, just so I can start putting on armor and swords and stuff like that, and just start working on building the game out. Another thing I've noticed when I was playing around with the architecture is I'm going to have to change the way the steel jump works, because although it does work similar to how it works in the books, it's really hard to actually land somewhere. And there's two reasons for this. One, I didn't really put in the iron system fully, because one thing you're going to be able to do is pull yourself towards iron. So another thing with these spikes that you see on the castle, when I make them metal, you're just going to be able to directly pull yourself towards it. And if they were metal, if I tagged them as metal, you'd be able to do it now. But I didn't, just because I was working out the architecture. But that'll go into like the cool midair fights that you're going to be able to do, where you just directly be able to pull yourself towards the iron, because you can already do it with the iron pull ability now. If you look, wait, not that way. You see now you can already pull yourself towards stuff. Well, that's about it. I just been trying to get the architecture of the whole game down and try to figure out how it's gonna look, just so you can have something to play around with rather than just a wide area with metal boxes. And here you can see some of the first things I was trying, where I gave it more of a medieval castle look, but I figured it wouldn't really look like that. So here I went with the more spiky angular style, just to see how it works out, and I think I went a bit overboard. So I'll try to change that out. I might just I'm thinking about just doing this at the end, because it's a lot easier to get the programming down and then come back and do this later. But I do want to have a good playable version just so when people pick up the game, they'll have something to just get into and see if they want to play the game or not. Other than that, another thing I wanted to fix was some of the combat. Where did I summon the enemy? Because the hit detection system, it's pretty good in my opinion, but I do want to improve it a bit because some of the hits feel like they linger to me, and the combat is just not where I want it to be. And that's kind of because of the way the hitbox works. It doesn't really detect a part of the body. It's just that if you're in front of the enemy, it's a little invisible box in front of the enemy. So if he swings and you're in front of him, he's basically gonna hit you. And that was just to make sure that you couldn't really miss anything just from any awkwardness. But it leaves the system feeling just a bit off. But I just want to get that a bit right. And that's just going to take some manipulation of hitboxes. That's all that is. But anyway, I'm hoping to have this architecture, this castle thing done by next week. That way you can have, I can set up a cool mid-air fight by next week. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching.